Yvette.
Miss McIlvaney, I'm sorry about this, but Mr. Galloway has withdrew his offer on the India Street 3-bedroom. He thinks the kitchen's a bit pokey.
Pokey?
And he said to tell you he doesn't want to make a commitment while there's a wee slump in the market.
Slump? Yvette, slump is not a word we use at Meredith McIlvaney property.
No, Miss McIlvaney.
Slump is the posture of someone with no confidence. Do you have confidence, Yvette?
Yes, I do, Miss McIlvaney. I especially have confidence in Meredith McIlvaney.
Very good. Now, how many notes of interest do we have in the India Street 3-bedroom?
Well, our potential note of interest...
Good.
...is your 4 o'clock, Mrs. Glennie.
Thank you, Yvette.
Yes, Miss McIlvaney.
But I don't know why you're here, dear.
Rian from Battersea.
Battersea, yes, you said.
Well, I'm starting at the art school and I was wanting to stay in a lovely house, you see. A home with a garden. You have a lovely home with a lovely garden. I like it here so much.
Oh, well, Rian, dear, it's not me that has a room for rent. You must have mixed up the address.
You don't have a single spare room in this great big house of yours?
Well, I'm not a landlady, you see.
Well, I'm no trouble. I can clean.
Oh, Stella comes and cleans on a Tuesday.
Well, I can clean on a Wednesday and a Thursday and a Friday and a Saturday. I keep the Sabbath, Mrs. McIver. Your home will be so clean.
Oh, dear, you're very sweet.
And I will bring a bit of company back to the house. You see?
Oh.
Missed my play.
We're sorry, Ate.
We had the meeting Saturday.
It was excellent.
We'll come and see the next one, all right?
I like it.
What?
No more kitchens.
Kitchens over. No conservatories.
No guest bedroom extensions.
We're free, Mickle.
What's happening?
Peppers are going to do buildings from now on, Ate.
And you're absolutely sure you want to buy in the new town, Mrs. Glennie?
Oh, yes. We should have bought our first flat in the new town. Kirsty, close your mouth, darling. Of course, now there's a wee slump in the market. I said to Hamish, now's the time to snap something up.
Slump? Who said anything about a slump, Mrs. Glennie?
Oh, I read it in the papers.
The papers weren't referring to the new town, Mrs. Glennie.
Shona.
Shona. New town is what we in the property business call future-proof.
I didn't know you could do that. I've got to tell Hamish.
You see, Shona, Georgian properties are always the most sought after, particularly by the more discerning buyer. In fact, I have clients who moved to Edinburgh because they want a Georgian property.
We could have been on the Georgian ladder already. We could be halfway up if we'd bought a Georgian 2-bedroom instead of a Victorian semi.
Shona, dear, may I be direct? Are you sure you and your husband are prepared for this? The Newtown lifestyle doesn't come cheap, Shona. If it did, well, anyone could live here. And they can't.
Gabriel. I'd just love to take Balzac in there for a run. He never gets the chance to run on grass.
Shame.
You wouldn't mind.
Are you a resident?
I live just over there on Dundas Street.
Dundas Street isn't in the catchment area. These are private gardens for Harriet Road, Queen Street, and Abercrombie Place.
For goodness sake.
Rules, Mrs. Balzac.
Oh, I'm not Mrs. Balzac. That's the dog. Come on, Balzac.
Give me all your money, big man.
Sweetheart.
Come on, Balzac. Good boy.
Lovely, Mrs. McIver.
Thank you, dear.
If you stood on the roof, Mrs. McIver, I bet you could see the sea.
The first? Yes, I think you could. Oh, but don't try that, dear. It's a bit dangerous to stand on a slate roof.
Everybody, it's time for a map. Ready? Yeah. Good shot. Thank you. You're welcome. It's gonna be a biggie.
It must have been jolly windy
Hey,
up there.
Martin,
Your island.
dinner.
Listen, you must have grown up with quite a lot of gale force wind.
Do you have a neighbourhood watch scheme, Mrs. McIver?
Neighborhood watch.
I'm going to start one.
Rem Koolhaas.
Yeah, cool house. This is the main door. Service entrance.
Lift shaft.
What are you talking about?
Never mind that. Herra, siunaa Herra meidät ja nämä lahjasi. Siunaa myös Water Bannermania ja meidän projektia St. Cuthbertsin kirkossa. Amen.
It was the biggest day of my life when the envelope arrived. It said, Darian, they spelled my name right and everything. Darian, we are pleased to offer you a place on the Fine Art course at the Edinburgh Art College. I wept, Mrs. M. I did. Do you know the whole island had a ceilidh for me at the Castle Bay Arms to celebrate? The Battersea Boys played. Do you know them?
I'm not sure I do.
Well, they're very famous. I'm the luckiest girl in Scotland.
I hope I live to see the day you have your first exhibition.
Will you come?
Oh,